Slopgate, which is essentially a bunch of right-wingers make bad food, and then they get dogged for it on the internet, and then they go, why are you making fun of me? And then they say racist shit like Mexican food is bad, and it's for uncultured people, and that's what Sargon said last time. So here, let's see what SFO has to say, dumbass.
Alright, my friends, I'm making another short, quick video as filler because I actually am working on something quite big. So today, let's take a look at last week's Slopgate. It started off with this tweet. A surprising amount of replies talk about Mexican food, which is hilarious. We are so good at putting slop on a tortilla.
It's interesting that you start here because it's a reply. I don't really feel like going to dig for the beginning of this.
What do you say about that, Frenchie? Is posting an L. Nobody outside the US or Mexico cares about Mexican food.
Dude, Mexican food rips.
You can add Canada to that, as much as we can be considered a different country than America. But you get the point. The reply came from this Bloomberg journal. The one thing that can unite America in this age of hyper-partisanship is dunking on bad food takes.
PEG's food takes? Who's PEG? Was it that last guy? Pascal Emmanuel Gabri, yep.
And then my pal Sargon gave this counter-reply, which is...
Sargon. My pal Sargon. He's a fucking dumbass.
Is what went viral. Mexican food is absolutely atrocious, though. The chilies are there to hide the taste of poor quality ingredients, not enhance the flavor.
That man has just a baby mouth, and that's obviously true. What do you mean, the chilies? Huh? You can have... There's some Mexican food that has chilies with it, some of it doesn't. What do you mean? You ever had tomatillo salsa or something? There's no fucking... Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, the same fucking guy, by the way. Here's what Sargon Avocado's eating. As you can fucking see, it's not going well. He got fucking destroyed on the internet for this. So disgusting. He obviously took a cheap cut of beef, didn't know what to do with it, didn't salt it or anything, put it in a fucking ocean of oil, dropped some fucking eggs in there. Disgusting. Did it with a brick of chicken as well. I was like, oh yeah, it's delicious. Uh-huh.
I hope you have a fantastic
Table
day.
pepper too spicy for Sargon. Thank you, Exmo Jimbo, for 80 months. Gray-ass eggs. It's disgusting. I dogged on him. Here's what I'm fucking cooking. There's no way this guy's ever had authentic Mexican food. His taste buds would be blasted with flavor. Right. I know, right? Anyway, we're built different. I have a cooking channel, by the way. You guys want to go to my cooking channel? Check this out. It's called Actual Cooking, and you can go there right now. I've uploaded videos since you've seen this. I guarantee it. I guarantee by the time you see this on YouTube, I will have uploaded at least one video.
Listen, if you've been on Twitter for any length of time, you know that you can't be white, especially white British.
What do you mean you can't be white? What are you talking about? That's not... being white has nothing to do with thinking that Mexican food is slop and you use chilies to hide flavor. What?
And insult the food of any other culture. Whether you're objectively correct or not, it doesn't matter. A united army of white cosmopolitan hipsters and...
United Army. Do I make the cut here? Because I fucking destroyed Sargon during this time too.
Brown immigrants will come out of the woodwork to talk about how unspiced your food is. Of course, Sargon knew this would happen, which is why he immediately posted the image of a snuggling Homer Simpson with the caption, "Me posting an opinion like this just before I go to sleep." He fully expected to wake up with millions of people raging at him, which he did.
Millions of people raging at him, dunking on him. Very different. This is incredible amounts of cope right now when you get ratioed to oblivion and nobody likes you. This isn't a win. Ooh, I trolled them. What do you mean? Everyone thinks you suck. How is that a win? Until we start making being an asshole unprofitable, it's going to keep happening. Like, these people are just like, I'll be an asshole, and then they make money. That's the whole fucking model. This shouldn't be how it works.
He's probably remembering the seasoning police fiasco, where a bunch of brown people shat on a white woman for not seasoning her chicken, when she replied that she put fresh vegetables in the roasting pan instead of dry herbs.
That's still not seasoning it. What? What do you mean dry herbs? What? That's not what seasoning is. Seasoning is salt. Vegetables aren't seasoning. You're dumb and uneducated. You don't know what you're talking about.
Dry garlic and celery powder and pepper flakes, they're all fine, but you can't beat actually putting garlic and celery and pepper in the dish.
Pepper in the dish? What do you think pepper in the dish means? What do you think do you think bell peppers in the dish is like akin to black pepper in the dish or something? Anyway, they weren't saying season it with fucking flakes. That was not the bulk of the argument. It was that it is unseasoned. Unseasoned means a lack of salt.
She then called everyone shitting on her the seasoning police, which black progressives on TikTok immediately took as a racial slur. And then white identitarians on Twitter immediately began using as a racial slur in reply. And the whole thing culminated with collages of black people washing their chicken with dish soap.
Yeah, I mean, if you wash your chicken with dish soap, you don't know what you're doing and are making bad decisions.
But we've come back around to the spice conversation once again, and everyone replied to Sargon with the same tired, repeated insults.
But you're using it as a racial slur. Like, you're saying, oh, look, black people wash their chicken with dish soap, when it's not the case. When a black person or a couple black people or just a couple people in general, because I know fucking white people that do this shit too, you made it a race thing. When you're getting dogged for being a white identitarian like Sargon and then saying, oh ho ho, British food is so superior, oh ho ho, and then he gets dogged and people call him white and shit because he's the one that did it. He started that. And you're like, no, actually, you can't say it. It's like, eat shit, man.
British plus bad food plus bad teeth plus white plus racist plus L plus ratio.
Yeah.
Here's one reply that I think really exemplifies the whole thing. Tell me you've never had Mexican food without telling me you've never had Mexican food.
Yeah, this is delicious looking.
Posted along with a picture of a pan filled with shrimp, lime wedges, avocado slices, a ton of onions and peppers and other spices, all laid
Spices?
out on a bed of fried sauced rice.
Fried and sauced rice. Sauced.
Sargon called it an assault on the senses rather than a meal. When someone else chimed in with that common cope of, British people conquered the whole world for spices, they never used any of them, Sargon replied with, surely this just shows we've recognized the corrupting nature of spices and decided on the path of virtue. Have you considered that your taste buds have been so debauched that they're unable to detect quality?
Right. I mean, he's doing a thing where he's trying to be like, look, I'm in on the joke, but also I'm still a racist. Like, it's not funny. Nobody likes this. And he keeps getting dunked on. Like, you're so dumb.
The American's palate is so abused by the food of the foreigner that he can't distinguish flavor.
You're laughing at this when it's racist rhetoric, man. And you're like, oh, this is funny. And you're like, it's not racist. He's saying the food of the foreigner. Motherfucker, you're the foreigner.
Outside of an extreme range. It is either blisteringly spicy or mind-numbingly sweet. He is the victim of culinary Stockholm syndrome.
Are you purity testing your taste buds, freak?
Now, these takes are absolutely written for maximum troll effect, but Sargon does genuinely feel this way.
They're written for troll effect, but he genuinely feels this way. Right. Yeah. He's an asshole. Just, like, and nobody likes it. And so they're dunking on him.
Let's go back to that dish with the shrimps and limes and avocado. To be honest, I'd probably eat this and enjoy it, but I wouldn't want to have it every day. Sargon's right.
I mean, every day? Nobody eats that every day. Who eats that every day?
In that if a meal is extremely spicy, or hell, just filled with a dozen different contrasting flavors, it does get to be a bit numbing. It's kind of like the culinary version of the Jack Murphy thing, where he advertised himself as pushing the edge of masculine sexuality, which is why he had to resort to riding dildos and ruining his asshole, and pimping out his wife to other dudes in order to try and get off.
That's a total non sequitur that I think you just wanted to talk about and bring up. That's just a thing you wanted to mention. I think you were just trying to say, hey, look at this other video I made. Like,
if I was gay or something.
This isn't really close.
There's a generalized lesson about vice here. If you pursue what's pleasurable too much, you become numb to it, and you have to go to even further extremes in order to satiate your appetites.
Your son comes home from college, and you notice that he's wearing bright patterns and different clothes instead of the khakis and the polo shirts you're used to. And he says, hey, Mom, what are you cooking for dinner? And she's like, baked chicken. Baked boiled chicken. And he's like, oh man, I want to use some spices. You got any spices? And then that's when you know your child has fallen too far down the woke rabbit hole. the woke mind virus has taken hold, and suddenly they're trying to ride the dragon, eating spices, eating jalapenos. Oh my God. Can you imagine a habanero? Ooh. Salting your chicken ahead of time. Hey, using things from around the world to try to find good flavors. Like, holy shit, man. This is borderline heroin.
Your son is dead. Killed by the woke mind virus.
Exactly. Except in this case, the woke mind virus is avocados, which isn't a spice, and limes, which aren't a spice, and shrimp, which are also not spices, and rice. All of these are staple foods that are totally fine and normal to eat. I have literally all of these things in my house right now. I can make this.
This applies to sex, and it applies to food.
It applies to sex and food. Yes. I am hey, look, sometimes I do feel like I really want a chimichanga, you know?
Hey, I'm not some kind of wimp who can't handle spicy food myself.
I'm not a wimp.
Enjoy spicy food, but I don't want to have it all the time.
I don't say that I'm a wimp and can't have spicy food.
Jeez.
It's a nice treat once in a while, but you know what? I genuinely enjoy bland food just as much.
What is wrong with salami?
I genuinely enjoy bland food just as much. What? Bland? What's bland? What are you talking about?
Sometimes I'm actually just in the mood for toast with butter, or oatmeal, or plain old chicken noodle soup.
These aren't bland. What do you mean plain old chicken noodles? Just because they're normal to you and your culture doesn't mean they're bland. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're so uneducated about everything all the time. We shouldn't just give platforms to everybody. I think this was a mistake. I think YouTube was a mistake. We let this guy think he's people. We let this guy think he's a guy with takes. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you know that this guy couldn't make a chicken noodle soup? The complexity of making a chicken noodle soup is a layered experience. Chicken stock and a mirepoix, roasting the chicken. Fucking holy shit. You couldn't do it. You could not make a competent fucking chicken noodle soup. It's so highly technical.
Not everything has to be dipped in sweet chili heat Doritos powder or something.
Sweet chili heat Doritos powder. Like it just sounds like you're upset. So first of all, the unseasoned mushrooms and tomatoes on the English breakfast is so stupid. But the beans are loaded with salt and sugar. So the fucking sausage is loaded with salt. The bacon and ham and shit loaded with salt. They often salt the eggs, and this is blood sausage, also loaded with salt and shit. Those are all seasoned. Buttery ass toast.
When you look at an English breakfast, yes, it's bland on the spice side, but it also
Spice side?
looks really good.
It's just racism towards the global south because, like, I mean, this is just what they eat here because this is mostly what grows, although they had to go get tomatoes. But, like, fucking colonizers. But, like, this is just what you got around. Heavy protein fucking legumes and shit. Like, they don't have good food in Britain. White people and white culture has like, I like a sausage, I like beans and eggs and shit, but like we don't have the breadth of ingredients because we live in a cold climate a lot of the time, which is why we are white. And then like you see the global south, chilies and stuff grow ubiquitously. It's a good source of vitamins and minerals. They're tasty, and their food just reflects the local biome. It's so weird to be racist about it when it's just human beings finding ingredients and making food locally. It's just cool.
With the exception of the tomatoes, I don't really like tomatoes. I would eat everything here and enjoy it. I like my eggs and sausages with spices or sauces, but I also like them plain. Sometimes you actually want to taste the egg and the sausage and not just the spice or the sauce, you know? Anyway, this whole thing went viral under the hashtag SlopGate, and now I have to explain to you the weird underlying meme. For a while now on 4chan, there's been a meme known as Goy Slop.
Oh, cool. We have to go to 4chan to understand why. I don't think we do have to go to 4chan by the way, there's my cooking channel. It looks good, huh? You guys want to learn how to make lasagna? Fucking bangs. We don't have to go to 4chan to understand why Carl Benjamin isn't a good cook. You just are ignorant of the processes. You don't know what you're doing. It's disgusting. And then you dog other cultures for having the audacity to have like fucking high quality ingredients and know how to cook stuff, but it's just something that is spicy to your little mouth or whatever. It's just crazy, dude. So fucking weird. Anyway, you can make unspiced, non-chilied food for white folks, like broccoli salad. This isn't cheese. This is carrots in there. Some roasted green beans and a beautiful ribeye. Look, you eat what you like. I don't care. If you prefer your steak boiled, sure, you can eat a boiled steak. But here's the thing. You don't get to tell other people that they are, like, incapable of making good food, or that their cultures are fucking weird, or say racist shit and think that people aren't going to dog you when you make fucking gray-ass, boiled-ass, unseasoned-ass steak with fucking chicken bricks and hard-ass eggs. Sorry, buddy. Learn to cook then. Simply learn to cook. That's my take. You can eat whatever you like, but you don't get to dog other people, especially when you're ignorant. That's even worse. It's an even worse thing.